Mike.
And Sean Diddy Combs has just been unsealed. Combs is being charged with racketeering conspiracy, alleging he ran an enterprise that he engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, or kidnapping, arson, and other crimes. He's also charged with sex trafficking by force. I want to bring in ABC's Phil Lipoff, ABC News contributor and SiriusXM radio host Mike Muse, and ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer for more. Phil, give us the details on this indictment.
So we're just looking through it right now. You hit the highlights, but right off the bat, they go through all of his all of the names that, because they have to do that in an indictment. They have to name all the names he's ever gone by, and then they talk about he relied on his employees and resources to influence the multifaceted business and what he would do. They allege that there were, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping. They allege arson, bribery, obstruction of justice. They go on to talk about how he would.
Damn, they done hit him with the woo-wop. Hey, if you don't know, man, we live right now. Hip Hop Hustler and the Internet. This a hip hop video. That Diddy indictment just got unsealed. So we finna check out this news, breaking news right here. I got the indictment here. We gonna read through it. It's on the internet. It's everywhere. You can go download it yourself. If you're looking for it, I'm gonna put the link to it in the description at the end of this video, so you can have your own copy and read it yourself, because I ain't reading the whole thing. It's 14 pages long. It's over 1,000 words. But let's watch this video. Then we're going to get right into the indictment. Tap in.
Abuse women. They talk about kicking and punching and dragging and forcing them to have.
Let me know.
They talked about highly coordinated sexual acts with male prostitutes. I mean, this is extensive. This seems to be everything that we have heard about in allegations. I haven't been through the entire thing yet. We're all looking through it. But so far, what I can tell just in the first couple of pages is most of the things they are alleging in this indictment we have heard about.
And Phil, I'm going to give you a chance to go through. I know I put you on the spot there, literally as we got that indictment now. Brian, walk me through legally. We've heard, did he deny these charges, these accusations really throughout? Now they're officially charges. His attorney also before the indictment said that he's an imperfect person, but that he's not a criminal, again, denying this. So what do you make of the fact that we're now seeing in black and white what the government is trying to charge him with?
Yes, sometimes it makes it a lot more interesting as to how to dissect this case. We have 3 charges. We have a racketeering charge, or what we also hear as RICO. The second count being, as Phil articulated, what we all thought might be there, the sex trafficking through force, fraud, or coercion, and then, of course, the transportation of prostitution. Now, those are the first initial charges. That could be more coming down the line, depending on how this investigation goes. But this is what we know so far. When it comes to these charges, we're looking at life in prison as a maximum for at least the second count and potentially the first as well. But also when it comes to RICO, how they're describing this enterprise as its way of promoting, enhancing, and protecting the brand, and that sex and sex trafficking was a part of it. We're going to see all the ugly and gruesome parts of bad boy entertainment that surround this alleged abuse in a way that I don't think many of us are prepared for.
Brian, can you talk about the degree to these charges? Because any kind of sexual abuse or sexual assault is bad enough, but it sounds like what they're describing is something that was really premeditated and coordinated.
Yeah, so when you're talking about RICO, you're talking about a criminal enterprise, and criminal enterprises can be anything. Oftentimes you associate RICO with like the mafia or things of that nature, money and violence. This seems to be more in line to, if you want to draw a comparison, to that of R. Kelly, where there was an organization within the music industry that kind of was part and parcel. They interacted with each other in a way that you couldn't see where the music started and the alleged abuse ended. That it's almost the trafficking and transporting of women for the pleasure, for increasing the brand, for potentially even, hey, we want to get a new artist. So you know what, we're going to traffic this girl that he might be interested in a way of attracting and keeping this artist in a way to grow the brand and make money off of it. They are alleging that it is so intertwined that it's almost business as usual to do this trafficking and transporting. And at least that's what I'm reading from the initial allegations in this indictment.
We think of Diddy, we think of the music, but his influence goes far beyond that. How significant is it to have charges of this magnitude against someone who is this powerful?
It's huge. And just kind of give context to what Phil and what Brian is talking about. Diane, is in the conversation that we were just having a few moments ago. What I'm looking at from this unsealed indictment, of course, we need to learn a little bit more, is it seems like Cassie was such a big part of this indictment. A lot of these indictments comes from the lawsuit and allegations that Cassie was actually discussing. In particular, you think about arson. I know people are probably wondering, where is the arson coming from? In Cassie's lawsuit, she alleged that Diddy threatened to blow up a current rapper, Kid Cudi's car, to which Kid Cudi's car did blow up in an explosion, to which Kid Cudi then gave a statement and said that he can confirm that actually happened. I'm thinking that's where the reference of the arson comes from. I'm also thinking about the male prostitutes. Cassie alleges that during that time, Diddy would force her to look on the internet to solicit male prostitutes in order to engage in sexual activities. I'm assuming that is where the male prostitute dynamic is coming from. In terms of kidnapping, Cassie also has alleged in her lawsuit the forceful nature to which Sean Combs would remove her from events, from social settings, from gatherings, and keep her in essentially in housing in order to perform these activities. When it comes to the idea of the enterprise, to kind of translate that to what Brian Buckmeyer just said so eloquently, culturally, what Diddy was. Diddy was the kind of person where if you were in the music industry, you wanted to be around. If you were trying to make your mark as an A&R executive, if you were trying to make your mark in the marketing, if you were trying to make your mark in order to hang out with him, to go to his home in the white parties in the Hamptons, that's how much of a pull Diddy had. I cannot underscore how Diddy had this concept and this idea of the Midas touch. And Diane, being a part of the music industry, being around Diddy, being around those events, being at his home in the Hamptons, being at his home in Miami, I had firsthand accounts, not of these allegations, I didn't see any of that, but how desperate people were to be in his orbit. I can't underscore that enough. You think about the 40th birthday party that he had that I went to at Cipriani's. I mean, they had Mariah Carey, you had, I remember the royal family was invited. I can't remember if they attended or not, right? But you had those type of individuals wanting to be there, coming. You think about Diddy runs the city with marathons. This is a type of influence and pull that he had. And so when I think about the racketeering and the enterprise dynamic, it's just about people who wanted to be near him and who was willing to do anything for Diddy to give them affirmation and recognition.
And Phil, as you're going through that indictment, what is that anything? What sticks out to you?
Well, I mean, Mike laid it out. I just want to touch on one thing that you didn't, and this is the violence toward women. In this one section, it says, on multiple occasions from 2009 on, Combs assaulted women, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects, and kicking them. These assaults at times were witnessed, and then they go into the 2016 video that we saw of Cassie. So you're right, a lot of this stems from Cassie's allegations, but you see, I mean, they've got it laid out there.
And then Phil, to what you just mentioned too, in terms of the physical violence, not only is Cassie part of this, but also too, the recent lawsuit that we saw from former Danny Kaine group member Dawn Richard. Dawn Richard also says she witnessed these violent acts too as well.
All right, Phil, Mike, Brian, thank you.
Dang, what, none of those 4 lines. All right, let's get right into this indictment, bro. Let me stop that video. Hold on. Let's get right into this indictment. I'm finna try to blow it up so we can look at it. But, bro, this is crazy because, like, all this shit is true, bro. Like, well, allegedly. But, dang, they got a lot of evidence. The boy been on some wild stuff, boy. I got a 6 degrees separation Diddy story one time, boy. I'm going to tell y'all, but right now ain't the time, so let's get into this. I'm trying to blow this up so y'all can see it. Hold on. Y'all can see that? All right. Let's get it. Racketeering and conspiracy. United States District Court, Southern District of New York, United States of America versus Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy. aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka P. D, aka Love. They forgot one, aka they forgot the brother Love. Damn. Count one, racketeering and conspiracy. The grand jury charges. Here's the overview. For decades, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, blah, 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 blah. The defendant abused, threatened, coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled. All right, I ain't reading all this because it's long. Like I said, I'm gonna put a link down here in the description so y'all can go get your own copy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't holding nothing. All I'm asking for is a like and a subscribe. All right, let's go. 2. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, blah, 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 operated his business headquarters at various times in Manhattan and Los Angeles under a variety of United States-based corporate entities, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprise, Combs Global, collectively the Combs Business. Corporate entities in the Combs Business included other things, record labels, a recording studio, apparel line, Spirit Business, a marketing agency. Hey, that boy was a mogul. You hear me? That boy was, man, at all times relevant to the indictment. The defendant engaged in persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women and other individuals. This abuse was at times verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. Boy, man, I'm surprised that boy ain't got that boss man. Not boss man D-Lo either. I'm talking about that St. Louis boss man. If you know, you know. I'm surprised he ain't got that pack, boy. Straight up. Dang, G. Physical abuse by Sean Combs. The defendant was recurrent and widely known. Numerous occasions from at least in or about 2009 and continuing for years, Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. These assaults were at times witnessed by others, included one instance at a Los Angeles hotel in or about March 2016, which captured on video and later publicly reported where Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a woman as she was attempting to leave. That's that Cassie video, y'all. That's that Cassie video they talking about right here. You know what I'm saying? It's that Cassie video. When the staff intervened, Combs attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure silence. 5. Combs, aka Puff Daddy P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka P. D, aka Love, aka Brother Love. I'm gonna call it RKA, recently known as Brother Love. What did Brother Love do? This is crazy. He used the business, including employees, to carry out, facilitate, cover up his abuse and commercial sex. Those employees included security staff, household staff, personal assistants. Ooh, boy, what y'all think Farnsworth Bentley know? What y'all think Hard PR know? Man, I think Hard PR gonna go down in this case too, boy. Hard PR might go down with these boys, G, if Hard PR ain't already working with them people. They might get Harv, G, I promise you. Harv might go down, I'm telling y'all. Let's go. The Enterprise. From at least in about 2008 or on about the date of filing an indictment, the defendant and others and unknown were members and associates of a criminal organization, the Combs Enterprise or the Enterprise. Dang, that boy really thought he was Michael Corleone. He was really out here living like Michael Corleone. You know, because his daddy was a gangster. You hear me? So he's little junior, Michael Corleone head ass boy. Oh, okay, my bad. Let me get back to the biz. I'm sorry, y'all. Members and associates of Combs Enterprise engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other activities, sex trafficking. Oh, he just went for the gusto. Forced labor. Oh, wow. That's what making them niggas walk to their damn juniors for them cheesecakes. Man. Interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, enticement, engagement, prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, robbery, and obstruction of justice. Boy, this boy was living some real life Batman shit, man. Gotham City, he's a real life Gotham City Marvel Marvel. What they call it? I don't watch that Marvel stuff, but motherfucking Marvel criminal or something. I don't know, man. Should y'all tell me what it is? The income. Oh, a villain. He a real life villain. The Combs Enterprise, including its leadership, its members, and its associates, constituted an enterprise as defined by Title 18, United States Code, Section 19614. That's probably paragraph 4. This is a group of individuals associated, in fact, although not a legal entity. The Combs Enterprise consisted of Sean Combs, aka, and all his AKAs, the defendant. Entities within the Combs business, including but not limited to Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprise, and Combs Global. Individuals employed by us and associated with the Combs business, others known and unknown. The enterprise constituted an ongoing organization whose members function as a continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the objects of the Combs Enterprise. That's some blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, let me get to, I'm trying to get to some meat. Hold on. They still talking about the business employees and the staff and stuff. They was just helping them do what he do. That's all they talking about in 9 and 10. It ain't worth reading. Let's go to 11. The purposes of the enterprise. I need something to drink. Hey, the purposes of the enterprise including the following. A, operating a global business in the media, entertainment, lifestyle industries, including, among other things, record labels, recording studio, apparel line, the Spirit Agency, all that television network media company. B, preserving, protecting, promoting, enhancing the power, reputation, and brand of Combs. See, that's like that Rico, the same thing that you doing with the gang. You preserving, enhancing the power and the reputation of the gang. You get what I'm saying? That's what they hitting them with. C, enriching members and associates of enterprise, including its leader, Combs, and in particular those who demonstrated loyalty to Combs and willingness to conceal his crimes. Man, I swear, my statement for the week I've been saying all week, man, loyalty is overrated, bro. Every time you be loyal to somebody, you get effed over, bro. Loyalty is overrated, I promise you. D, preserving, protecting, promoting. That's what they just. Oh, okay. We on E. My bad. E, fulfilling the personal desires of Combs, particularly those related to Combs' sexual gratification, including through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial sex workers. Freaky ass nigga, he's a 69 god. Freaky ass nigga. Run for your life. Run for your life. Turn that Diddy job down, down, down. Turn that Diddy job down, down, down. Run for your life. We ain't doing it, boy. F. Enabling Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise to engage in unlawful acts of violence, including sexual violence, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics distribution, and other crimes, and concealing the commission of such acts. That boy was probably selling them designer drugs. I don't really see Diddy slinging no birds. I don't really see Diddy slinging no pounds, but I do see Diddy slinging like some of that real fancy stuff, that new level stuff, that Ghost and Tommy in the club type stuff. You heard me? G. Securing absolute loyalty from family members. I'm sorry, from members of the Combs enterprise, including through acts of violence and threats. H. Protecting the Combs enterprise and its members and associates, including Combs, from detection and prosecution by law enforcement authorities through acts of intimidation, manipulation, bribery, and threats of retaliation against individuals who witnessed the crimes committed by members and associates of the enterprise. But they got them boys sounding ruthless in here. Means and methods. So yeah, I'm gonna go slow so y'all can read too. I ain't finna read all this. I told you. I'm just looking for the good stuff. Okay, here come the good stuff right here. Freak offs. All right, so it say Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs business to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to as, among other things, freak offs. Now, y'all remember that white dude that got arrested and he was on that video like just spilling the beans and everybody made him look crazy. The boy don't look so crazy now. I promise you, he don't look crazy now. Because he talked about these freak offs and the police was like brushing him off as a drug addict and stuff like that, G. Do y'all remember that? I'm telling you. All right. Freak offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated doing, and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally. Oh, that's sex trafficking. I know, G. I know a couple pimps, boy, they got skipped. When they put these new sex trafficking laws in line, man, I know a couple pimps that went ahead and gone sat down. I know a couple players that went ahead and just sat down, bro, because they ain't want no parts of that. You know what I'm saying? They bowed out gracefully. You know what I'm saying? You can't be taking nobody across state lines. And like, it's crazy because like where I live at, you know what I'm saying? Like the state line, like 10 minutes away to the next state. So literally, like you can cross the street and be in a whole nother state. So if you doing it like that, they can still hit you with that sex trafficking for crossing state lines charge, bro. So that's the crazy part about it. They can still hit you with that sex trafficking for crossing state lines charge. This nigga said internationally. Freak offs occur regularly, sometimes lasting multiple days and often involve multiple commercial sex workers. During the freak offs, Combs distribute a variety of controlled substances to the victims in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. That boy was the secret keeper, G. He had them secret tapes on these stars, boy. Damn, after the freak offs, the victims received IV fluids to recover from physical exertion and drug use. Boy, they putting a hemp. Oh my man. I can't believe what I'm reading, dog. This is nuts what we reading right here, dog. I can't believe this. This is crazy. Man. Uh Members of the enterprise, including high-ranking supervisory security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel. All you niggas going down. Y'all going down. Down, down, baby. No, I ain't even singing no Nelly. Y'all going down, bro. All y'all going down. Y'all deserve to go down. Greed. That's what greed to get you, bro. Large sums of cash paying the sex workers, scheduling the delivery of IV fluids. All right, in 2024, this is what they found in the house. They talking about what they found in the house in 2024 when they hit the cribs in Miami, Florida, and in Miami and LA. They've seized various freak off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil. This boy had 1,000 bottles of baby oil, Joe. He had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. This is crazy. This is crazy, dog. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in the freak offs. He maintained control over his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities. Man, that damn girl waited forever to blow, man. That's why damn people don't be blowing, man. Nobody never wants to sign with Diddy, boy. I'm glad, man. Let me see. Boy, Cam. I'm glad Cam never signed with Diddy, bro. Mace did the realest shit a friend could ever do. He took Cam to big and not Diddy, bro. Because Mace knew. I'm glad Mace got from up under that too. Cause I grew up listening to them boys. Them boys are some of my favorite rappers, man. Dang. Hold on, let me look at this one right here. Doing and separate freak offs. Combs, among other things, kicked through objects at, dragged victims at times by their hair. Dang, he was a demon time at all times. These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Combs also threatened victims' careers, livelihoods, including if they resisted participating in the freak offs. Victims believe they cannot refuse Combs's demands without risking their financial or job security or without repercussions in the form of physical or emotional abuse. Mm. Yep, I said he was using them videos as hostage to ensure silence. Members and associates of Combs Enterprise, including the security personnel at the time, carried firearms. More than one occasion, himself carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including victims and witnesses to his abuse. All right, they back in his crib, 2024, March, doing a search of his house in Miami, LA. in Miami and LA, they seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers as well as a drum. Okay, it's a small arsenal, not much heavy, just like sounds like some home defense. Members and associates enable Combs' control over victims by following his directions regarding financial payments to victims, advancing or suppressing the victim's career opportunities, and acquiring the controlled substances Combs used to keep the victims compliant. That's where his little drug boy come in, and I know he was snitching. I know he was ratting. Say members and associates of the enterprise, they witnessed violence toward the victims. I ain't really talking about much right here. These occasional instances in which the victim was required to remain hiding, just when they got hurt or something, you know what I'm saying? All right. When employees witness to his abuse and others threaten Combs' authority or reputation, Combs and members of the and associates of the enterprise engaged in acts of violence, threats of financial and reputational harm, and verbal abuse. These acts of violence included kidnapping and arson. Talking about that arson, that's where he blew Cuddy Cobb. I forgot who he kidnapped. Don't forget he hung Wale off the damn out the damn bridge. And Glizzy say he hung Wale off the bridge. Don't forget that. Nah, we ain't forgetting that. On phone calls, Combs and other members and associates of the enterprise, among other things, provided victims and witnesses with false narratives of events in the effort to conceal Combs' crimes. The racketeering conspiracy. We on page 9. We got about 5 more to go. The racketeering conspiracy. Where we at? From at least in or about 2008 through on or about the date of the filing of this indictment in New York, Diddy, aka this dog dude, head ass dude, the defendant, and others known and unknown, being persons employed by and associated with the Combs enterprise described in paragraphs 6 through 12 of this indictment, an enterprise engaged in and the activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly combined, conspired, confederated, and agreed together and with each other to violate racketeering laws of the United States. And then that's the law right there. That is to conduct and participate directly and indirectly in the conduct of the affairs of Combs Enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. And then it's another law that he broke. A. Multiple acts involving kidnapping, chargeable under the following provisions of state law. Hit him with some kidnapping in California. Bam. B. Hit him with some arson in California. A. Hit him with bribery. Multiple acts of bribery. One, two, three, at least 3. It look like. Multiple offenses involving the possession with intent to distribute or distribution of narcotics and controlled substances, including cocaine, oxycodone, alprazolam, and meth. 4 Brahmos, hydroxybutric acid. Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. Hydroxybutric acid, ketamine. You just say he had the distribution and possession with the intent to distribute and the conspiracy to do so. Part of the conspiracy agreed that a conspirator would commit at least 2 acts of racketeering activity in the conduct of the affairs of Combs. Okay, so he did something. They did something at least twice. Notice of special sentencing factor. What is this? I ain't never been to the feds. So we just gonna read it. I don't know. From at least in or about 2009 up to and including in or about 2018 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere as part of his agreement to conduct and participate in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise through a pattern of racketeering, Sean, aka Big Dumb Diddy Doodoo Head Brother Love, the defendant, agreed to and affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, advertise, maintain, patronize, and solicit by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion. Then it's the law. Count 2. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. The grand jury further charges. Let me hear my water. From at least in or about 2009 up to and including in or about 2018 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, the defendant in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruited, enticed, harbored, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they saying that's when he did. Okay. So they just repeating what they had up there. Um okay, so he's saying he forced somebody to do some sexual acts knowing that they were being forced to do these sexual acts and he didn't have any regard to them. That's all they saying. Um Count 3, transportation to engage in prostitution. All right, so he's saying starting around 2009. Dude, he must have got a big deal. If I ain't remember, he got a big deal like between '07 and '09. Didn't he get a big deal, a mega deal? Because this is really when he started going up, way up around that time. They knowingly transported an individual in interstate and foreign commerce with the intent that the individual engage in prostitution and attempted, aided, abetted, and willfully caused the same, to wit. Combs transported, aided, abetted, and willfully caused the transportation of the female victims and commercial sex workers in interstate and foreign commerce on multiple occasions with the intent that they engage in prostitution. Forfeiture allegations. As a result of committing the offenses alleged in the count, I'm just reading through it to see what they take. Dang, they take out. Listen to this, y'all. As a result of committing the offenses alleged in count 1 of this indictment, Sean Combs shall forfeit to the United States. Then that's the forfeiture law. Any and all interests in securities of, claims against, and property or contractual rights of any kind affording a source of influence over the enterprise named and described herein, which the defendant established, operated, controlled, conducted, participated. They took his business, bro. They took the family business. That's basically from what my understanding of what I'm reading. As a result of committing the offenses alleged in count 2 of this indictment, Sean Puff Daddy Doodle Diddle Dummy Doodle Diddle Head, the defendant shall forfeit to the United States. That's the forfeiture law. Any and all property, real and personal, involved in, used, or intended to be used to commit or facilitate the commission of said offense, and any and all property traceable to such property, and any and all real and personal constituting or derived from proceeds obtained directly or indirectly as a result of said offense, including but not limited to a sum of money in the United States currency representing. Man, it sounds like they taking a plane, they taking a couple of them cars, they taking some of them Sprinter vans, and they might take a couple of them houses, condos, and stuff like that. That's what it sounds like, bro. Because they said anything that was used in these crimes, he got to forfeit it over to the United States of America. All right, let's go. As a result of committing the offense alleged in court in count 3, this indictment, he shall forfeit to the United States. There's that law again. Any and all property. Okay, it's the same thing in count 3. Same thing. They taking cash, everything. Substitute assets provision. If any of the above described forfeitable property as a result of any act or omission of the defendant cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred or sold to or deposited with a third person, has been placed beyond jurisdiction of the court. So that's like them the money in the islands. Has been substantially diminished in value or has commingled with other property which cannot be subdivided without difficulty. So he's saying he can't. If this is it is the intent of the United States to seek forfeiture of any other property of the defendant up to the value of the above forfeitable property. Dang. And that's the indictment, man, right there. Shoot, I said I wasn't gonna read through it all, but I did read most of it, man. This crazy, man. They got him, bro. So they basically they hit him with sex trafficking, they hit him with drug charges, and man, they did him up, bro. Like, man, he gonna need a big bag to fight this case, man. I just don't see Diddy beating the feds though. Can Diddy beat the feds? I don't know, man. The feds, young boy beat the feds. But man, young boy playing pity pat compared to what this man over here was doing, boy. Man, I'm shocked. I'm kind of shocked, but I'm kind of not. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of not. Like, I remember back in the day when I was working in the industry a little bit, you know, I was doing tours and stuff for artists and stuff. And out on tour, you used to hear some wild stuff about Diddy, bro. Like, they used to be saying some wild stuff, but it was always stuff that I could never repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I might go and tell one of the little stories of light when you know what I'm saying. You know, let me know in the comment if y'all want to hear my Diddy story, my 6 degrees separation of Diddy story. You know what I'm saying? But that was crazy, man. I feel bad for the victims. I hope that they get their bag. I hope that they get some type of closure. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never victim blame nobody or victim shame nobody. You know, but it's just crazy how people can use power and influence. And like I was saying in the last video, like, what did he really do to piss these people off for them people to turn his water off, bro? Like, what did he really do? I just want to know what he really did. Like, I mean, because this stuff been going on for what, 20 years, over 20 years, almost 20 years. Diddy been in the game since I was what, 9, 10 years old. So probably before that. So, but they seem to overlook it all these years. And that's the scary part about it. Like, we overlooked it. You know, the fans, we crack jokes about it. His friends overlooked it. Where they at now? All these people that said Diddy was innocent, bro. It's time for them to step up. Is they gonna step up and hold their homie accountable? I doubt it. You know, where's Stevie J at, bro? Y'all gotta do something, bro. Y'all gotta talk. But it ain't even nothing to say because you can't defend this. You should have been getting far away from this as possible. And anybody that stood next to him and supported him through this, he had to have something on them. You know, Young Miami, her career over with, bro. After this, bro, like, I hope she got a bag put up, but she gonna always be able to get a bag after because she's so famous. So she shouldn't go broke, you know. Man, I feel bad for the innocent kids though that this gonna be affected by, you know. But I don't think Diddy gonna man, Diddy might get bond. I don't know. Y'all think Diddy gonna get bond? I don't know, man. Will we ever see Diddy walking the streets of America again, bro? Or you think it's over for Diddy? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Remember, I told you if you want a copy of this, I got a link down in the description. You click that link. I ain't charging no money. All I'm asking for is a subscribe, man, and a like button, man. You know what I'm saying? And a share. If don't nobody love you, Uncle Boo do, and that's no Diddy. I'm out. Peace.